This is Ajegunle, a community in Lagos, one of several communities down the Ikorodu Road stretch where people live in several feet of water. Residents here say that for as long as they've lived here, they've lived in and on water for a majority of the time. Olukokun Adepeju is a philanthropist and the founder of the Kokun Foundation. He's been visiting this community for the past 2 years to help out in any way that he can.
This community we are now is the most devastating community I've ever come to. I feel like it's the government that can do a lot of things for them here because I can't do it alone. I cannot. So I pray for, there are so many people in Nigerians, not even governments, billionaires, companies who can really come to this community and help them because they are really suffering. So it's so unfortunate to see Nigerians in this kind of area, staying in this kind of place. And when you go down like that to Ikorodu, there are many like that, millions of them suffering.
These canoes are the only way that residents who live here can access their homes when the rain has fallen as much as it has. Now, during the dry season, things aren't as bad, but for a majority of the year, this is exactly how people who live here go about their day-to-day lives. Eniola lives here in this community. She's had to send her kids to live with her mum to avoid them having to live under these conditions.
I stay here for the past 2 years and this water has really been disturbing me. I have to take my kids to my mother's place and me and my husband stay here. So we have to move to that other empty room. So it won't spoil a lot of things because the only way we go out is by the canoe. If there is no canoe, you have to go inside the water. And this water is dirty. Sometimes it will start itching your body. It will give you rashes. So if no canoe, you have to stay at home. And these canoe people are not much. Then it won't be easier because you take 15 naira out, 15 naira in. Sometimes you want to go out like 3 times a day. That means you have to spend like 300 naira. So it won't be easier. So sometimes we just stay at home. Even what we are going to eat, we need to buy it. So just to save money. So it has not been easy at all. If you want to go somewhere, you have to find money to rent an apartment, and it's not easy. So we just have to stay. We don't have choice.
With nowhere else to live and no roads to move on, it is hard for members of this community to get by. Faridat has been living here for the past 10 years and says the flooding has been a common recurrence ever since she moved in.
The water has been used to come every year. I can't move out as I wish. I can't play and I can't just say that I want to sit down outside or I want to stay inside for long. My child is 1 year old and then she used to have rashes and then she didn't play around. I want them to help us so that the water can reduce, not too much like this.
Baba Ibeji has also lived here for many years. He's lost his sight and depends on his neighbors for help and support.
2019,
He explained that when the 2019 floods came, his wife told him that she would leave the community if they were to experience another flood. He felt bad about this and thought it was a joke. But in 2020, when the annual rains came again and Ajegunle flooded, she left home. October 14th, 2021 will mark a year since his wife and kids left. I asked what's caused the swelling in his legs, and he said it's the effects of the water. When the water goes away, his legs get better. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, did predict that Lagos would experience heavy rainfall during the rainy season this year, with potential damage to lives and property. The state government also recommended that residents in low-lying areas relocate to higher grounds for safety. But residents here simply have nowhere to relocate to, and are calling for adequate measures to prevent this annual recurrence that only gets worse as climate change becomes more drastic. Laila Johnson-Salami, Arise News, Lagos.